Hello, friends, and welcome back to Virtual Strangers, episode number 11. I'm your host, West, and with me, as always, are my friends Alex and Ruuts. We are coming out of a week full of news and heading into a week even fuller of news, so let's not hesitate. Let's jump in. All right, so the first item I want to talk about today is something that came up this week that actually surprised me a lot. We were all kind of happy when we heard Oculus, as they released the Quest. They said that they were going to have higher standards for their store. And we all thought that was great because we can all agree that there's so much garbage floating around on like Steam VR and in PC VR in general. This sounded like a good move. But this week we found out that To the Top has been in development for Quest for quite some time now. And they finished it this week. We're ready to release it to the world, and denied by Oculus Quality Assurance for whatever reason, which was, like I said, it was shocking to me. I think that this game is pretty much universally loved. And from what I could tell, I saw footage of it. It looked like a solid port. It looked every bit as good as the PlayStation VR version, if not better. So, yeah, surprising to me and to most people. This, as of right now, is not going to be available for Quest. So all their hard work down the drain. Ruuts, I'm pretty sure you liked To the Top. Were you surprised by this news?
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised by it, but I'm not actually disappointed. It's a double-edged sword, right? We want the titles we want, but I don't want whatever reason. I'd be interested to know what reason that they denied it, but it gives me hope that maybe we won't actually see the janky shit on there, because we always hear that, and then you start to see stuff on platforms that you're like, that's not the best. So I don't know. Hopefully it was a legit reason.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
The reason they said apparently was because they said they thought it was a tech demo, which obviously makes me question who the hell's making these decisions, because they're clearly not a VR gamer, because anyone who's been into VR for a while knows this game, knows that it's not a tech demo. It's actually a fully fleshed out, it's got 30 odd levels, single player, multiplayer. This is a proper full game you can spend hours in. So I like your outlook, Ruuts, on the a positive spin on it.
I don't like it. I don't. No, like I mean, I think I don't like it at all, because you're right. Because if that's the reason, that's fucking bullshit. Because it's not a tech demo.
You make a good point, though, that it's good that they are actually denying things and they're not just letting anything through. But I think in this case, it's a mistake on their part. So right. There is a petition for this as well. So if you want, even if you haven't got a Quest and you're not bothered about it being on the Quest, but you love the game, just for the developers to help them get it on there and make some money and get more exposure for the game, just go on the petition and sign it just for them, just for the dev's sake. Because I think if you do get enough signatures, Oculus will change their mind and realize, people actually want this game. So
yeah, this, from what I understand, is probably pretty much just a terrible lapse in judgment by whoever's in charge of the Oculus quality assurance. PlayStation VR, the Sony store, is notorious for having over-the-top, too strict with their quality standards. And yet, somehow, this game made it through and is one of the more popular titles on the PlayStation store. So I don't know what it is. Something is at play here that I don't think the public is aware of, because this would be a monumental lapse in judgment if it were just based on the fact that they think that this is some kind of a tech demo. It's got a lot of content and it's all very well done. The petition that Alex was talking about is on change.org. I'll link it in the description. I have signed it myself the day that I saw it, and I hope you do too, because these devs obviously put a lot of work in on this, and to get no no benefit from it would be tragic, in my opinion. And kudos to these devs, by the way, for going taking the high ground on this and going the petition route when they could just, that there's any number of things that they could do to undermine the Oculus Store and encourage people to sideload this. So the fact that we don't have this available to sideload yet is a credit to the character of these developers. So I first found out about this by watching a playthrough video on the Gamertag VR channel. Be sure to go over there and check it out. Another interesting tidbit of news that came out of that interview was that these developers have been working on a sequel for some time now, and it's not exactly the same. It's not just going to be more levels. They said the core gameplay mechanics are the same, but it's a very different game. So looking forward to that very much. Anything else on this news item that you guys would like to add?
It just pisses me off. Like, I didn't hear that, Alex, and when I find that that's the reason behind it, it makes me think everything I said was bullshit. Because, like, how do you call this a tech demo? That to me is just just baffles me.
I think Wes has actually struck a good point there. That I think there could be something more to this than just that, because if they look, all they've got to do is look on Steam, look on Oculus Store itself, look on PlayStation Store at the reviews, the amount of reviews, how much love it gets. They haven't got to look hard to see whether this is a loved game. So maybe it's a motion sickness issue, because we know how Oculus are really fussy about motion sickness and comfort. So, but I think that they'll change their mind once they see how much people want it. So if everyone get on there, sign their petition, and I think we'll see it come to Oculus Quest.
Yeah.
And we know that these petitions do work, because I recently signed one to get Dirt Rally 2 so that it has VR support. And not long after we signed that petition, Oculus announced that Dirt Rally 2 will indeed have VR support. So we know that they listen to these petitions. So if you guys want to make a difference for these awesome developers, just take 5 minutes and go on, click the link down in the description and sign the petition.
Yep.
All right, so moving on, the news most likely of this week and probably of this month, E3 is coming tomorrow.
Nice.
At the time that you see this, if you're watching it as we publish it, tomorrow E3 is coming.
It officially starts on the 11th, I think, but obviously we've got the Upload VR pre-E3 stuff on the 10th, so that starts tomorrow. The official E3 starts on the 11th, which is Tuesday. But it's all kicking off already, to be fair. But we're already seeing stuff. But tomorrow, I think, is the big day for VR regarding VR stuff, I think. So.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. I kind of zone out the rest of the week because it really doesn't matter to me at all. Really, tomorrow is the big day for me. The Upload E3 VR showcase, which rolls off the tongue a little bit better than it did before when it was the Upload VR E3 VR showcase. So that's tomorrow. It's a pre-recorded deal that's going to be at noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. There's going to be all sorts of announcements and news, game footage that hasn't been seen before. From what I understand, there's loads of developers that are contributing to this and are going to be there taking part in it. And this is pretty much like Christmas for us VR gamers. Lots of the industry insiders have been on social media teasing that there are going to be big announcements. We know that Lone Echo 2 is going to be demoed this week at E3. We know that there's probably going to be some announcement about Borderlands 2 VR. At least we're going to get the release dates for the upcoming DLC, and maybe we'll get some word of PC support, because I know that the PlayStation exclusivity window is now lapsed. So this thing could come into PC at any time, and what better way to announce that than at E3? What else do we have here? We have Vertigo Games and Fast Travel Games both teasing announcements. We have Angry Birds Under Pressure. It's going to be a new Angry Birds game, exclusive to PlayStation VR. It's a movie tie-in, so there's a movie coming out, a new Angry Birds movie on August 18th, and there's going to be a PSVR exclusive game attached to it that's a social game. It's not just for the player in the headset. It also uses the social screen to have local multiplayer involved with it as well. And we're going to get our first gameplay footage of this game during the upload showcase. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have the Beat Saber Music Pack, which is going to be released tomorrow as well. That surely is going to be on display during E3. And Alex, I think that you recently learned of some announcement coming from Cloudhead Games.
Yeah, oh yeah. This is, I don't know if I've not really seen much hype around this, but I think this is going to be pretty fucking awesome. To be honest with you, it's literally a 23-second teaser that they put on Twitter, and I've like kind of digged into this, and this looks like we're playing the little tweet now, but you can't hear the sound. But I originally listened to it, like watched it on my mobile, and I thought, oh yeah, this looks kind of interesting. And then I watched it again the next day on my PC with sound, and I looked into it, and it made me realize that this could be a pretty big deal. From what we can see, basically we've got a load of guys with guns looking and standing there. And we think, okay, it's a shooter. But if you listen to the audio, they've got this really cool like bassy track going on, which is every time you see it flicker, it's the bass kicking in. It sounds really cool. It's got a really cool art style. At the end, you can see there it says Cannibalen. I can't say it. Cannibalen Records on there, which is I've looked up there of record label in Vancouver, and Cloudhead Games are in Vancouver, so obviously they've got some connection there. So the music's going to definitely be a part of this game. I've actually been on their the SoundCloud, because they've got their own SoundCloud, and I've been listening to their tracks for a while, and they've got some really, I mean, I'm not a big dubstep fan, but the music to me is better than the original Beat Saber tracks. It's really cool, some really cool music. So my theory is that this is going to be kind of, the other thing is, if you go on the Twitter for Cloudhead Games, the tweet they put up the day before, there's a picture of a guy on a green screen, and he's wearing a suit, and it says underneath that we'll be revealing number 2 of our 3 upcoming games. So they've got 3 games in development. This is one of them. And you can see the guys wearing a suit. But if you actually look at this trailer, you can actually see the guys are all wearing suits. So all these guys that are shooting and everything, you can see the very last guy. If you focus really on the last guy, he's got a tie that comes down just before it flicks to the text. So I think it's going to be some sort of John Wick, sort of super hot style shooter with some really cool music playing in the background. I think it's going to be really badass, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and all these little tidbits of news and teases that we're getting is just all stuff that we're deriving from social media leading up into this event. And I mean, it's just the tremors before the gigantic earthquake that's coming is what it feels like to me. The fact that there's this much stuff to be found just leading into it, I think this thing's going to be pretty massive. I know that Blair Renaud, the Technolust developer, I know that he's submitting footage of lo-fi. So once a week we get some pretty pictures from this guy of his next project, and he skipped that this last week so that we can get a reel of some very pretty, I'm sure, video footage of his next project. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this. I think it's going to be the news of the month. Anything else you guys want to say about E3?
I think we're just going to say, well, we've got Oculus, who've got a big presence there. They're going to have a stand. Obviously, we're going to finally see some Lone Echo 2 footage, which I'm looking forward to, because we got that trailer, which was cool because you could actually see that in VR, but we've not seen any actual footage of the gameplay. Asgard's Wrath, we've seen loads of Asgard's Wrath footage, which has already started tweaking out. E3 did a bit of a, not E3, sorry, Tested did a video and they talked about it and showed some more footage. That looks absolutely stunning. I mean, AAA beautiful on a flat screen. We know how much better games look in VR when you're actually in the world and everything's 3D. So that game is just going to be mind-blowingly good looking. He said that Jeremy said he had like a 2-hour gameplay. They let him play for 2 hours, and he did one of the quests of I think there's some sort of quest or something in there, and he said that was just one quest out of I don't know how many, but he says this is like a big game. You can go to different worlds, and it looks incredible. Asgard Wrath is definitely jumped up there as my number one game I'm looking forward to now. Just on the footage I've seen, I'm looking forward to that. Obviously with Defector, I don't think we'll see much from Defector because I think that's due for release soon. So we might even get a release date. We haven't got release dates for any of these games, so I'm hoping we get a release date for something so we can see something coming out. But I think Defector is going to be coming soon. What's the other one that they're doing? Lone Echo, Defector.
Stormlands.
Stormland. We had a new trailer for that launched as well, which looked really cool. So yeah, Oculus are going to be there. We've got obviously Upload VR, big up Upload VR because they're doing a lot for VR. And this showcase they've got is really giving a lot of even smaller developers who would never be able to afford to get their games exposed at E3, giving them the opportunity to give their games announced and get people looking at them. Because I'm going to be watching that definitely, and it's going to be really cool to see what sort of games we get announced. We'll be able to finally see what this game's going to be. So yeah, this year has just turned into one of the most incredible years for VR. Obviously, we've got all the hardware that's coming out. We've got a massive amounts of adoption. Rift S's are selling out. Quests have been selling out. Index is sold out. I just think this year it really is the tipping point for me. And I think that when we look back, this will be the year where we can say that VR finally got mass adoption, and not adoption, but just acceptance within the mass market. We're seeing more and more YouTubers. I was watching one today. He got like 3 million subscribers, plays Call of Duty, and he had a Rift S, and he was playing Zero Caliber, and people were all positive in the comments. It was just incredible. So, yeah, I'm really excited for this year, and I can't wait to see what. I can't express how excited I am for VR. It's changed my gaming. It's just changed my way of playing games. I've never been more into gaming than I have right now, and this is the most exciting time. There's no better time to get into VR than right now. So,
I 100% agree with every bit of your sentiment there and everything that you said. This year very well could be the breakthrough year for us. If not, it most certainly is setting the stage for next year to be. What you said about all of the hardware selling out, that's absolutely true. Oculus Quest has become an Amazon bestseller in only 2 weeks. It's already an Amazon bestseller. And as far as Upload VR goes, I agree. This is the premier media organization in VR right now. They're pretty much the standard in VR media, and basically they're my go-to every time that every day when I'm looking to find out what happened. That's the first place I go is Upload. With Oculus, man, they've got a lot of titles coming out this year, and we've known that they're coming for a while. They announced a while back that we're getting all of these titles in 2019, and here we are halfway through the year, and we haven't got any of them yet. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be fast and furious between now and the holiday season. These titles are going to start rolling out. Asgard's Wrath, I think, is going to be what we all had hoped Skyrim would be. And Upload, that video they did had 20 minutes of new footage. Ruuts, did you see the new footage of Asgard's Wrath?
I saw that it existed, but like so many people, I'm reluctant to watch it because I want it to be 100% fresh. I've seen some gameplay, and it does look beautiful, and I think we should check our wallets because we're going to be losing a lot of money pretty quickly here, and people like Alex, you're set up to check out all of these games, assuming they play well in the index.
That's the issue. But
if it does play well in the index, you're set up to play it in an amazing style, and I'm a little jealous. I won't get mine till the end of August. So
the Rift S, the Rift S is just as clear. I think the screen clarity-wise, I think it's just as clear. I think, but
It's right up there too.
It's already there. It's ready and going. So it's just going to be an awesome year. Anyone, it's just I've said enough. Let's move on to something else because I could talk about this stuff all day. So
you're excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited. Yeah.
We're all excited. And before I move on from E3, I think this would be a good time to mention that Sony every year during E3 or at least last year and this year have their Days of Play event that takes place during E3. It started on the 7th. It spans for 10 days, and it's a massive sale of all things PlayStation 4, and that includes PlayStation VR. So there are 2 new PSVR bundles out. We reported on those last week or the week before. The PS Plus subscription service that allows you to play online with your friends, as well as grants you access to 2 free games every month. Normally, the annual subscription fee for that is $60. Right now, it's $40. So even if you already are subscribed, it's a good time to go ahead and re-up, get another year of it for pretty much dirt cheap. And there's tons of games on sale. Actually, I took a look at the game sale at the VR catalog, and there wasn't quite as much as there was last year, but Sony always updates their sales on Tuesday. So I would come back to it Tuesday if the game that you're looking for isn't on sale now. Just hold off on buying anything till Tuesday, and you may find some more games on sale Tuesday. But there was a few notable good deals. Super Hot right now, $10 on the Sony store, which is a must-have game, and doesn't go on sale a whole lot. The Persistence on sale. The Mage's Tale was on sale. And a bunch of games are on sale. So be sure, if you're a PSVR gamer, get on there and check out those sales. And if you're not a PSVR gamer, those bundles are $50 off right now, as are the consoles. So there's never a better time to get into being a PSVR gamer than right now. Approximately 8 days left to go in this sale. So jump on it before there's still time.
I almost picked. I mean, I guess I did almost. I did. I picked up PSVR Worlds, or what's that? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And did the Shark Tank last night. It was like $5 or $6, and I was like, oh man, no, $6, because you've been telling me that I should check it out. So, it's good. It was good. So. Yeah,
a bunch of great demos on that thing. Of course, the London Heist and the Ocean Descent are the ones everyone talks about, but the Scavenger's Odyssey on there is a ton of fun as well. Not for beginners. It'll probably turn your stomach because you're pretty much asteroid hopping, and every time you enter the gravity field of a new rock, it turns your ship. So there's lots of spinning and stuff, and it will get your stomach. But if you have your VR legs, Scavenger's Odyssey is a lot of fun too. And $6 for that package is a steal. So definitely a good pickup. All right, before we go on about any more VR news, I want to talk about the channel and the show a little bit. As you know, we announced a few weeks ago that we're going to be playing with the format a little bit, and you guys have seen that come to fruition. We changed the format of this show 2 weeks ago. Last week, we went to a 3-man crew. Hi, main fan. We miss you, buddy.
Yeah.
But we spoke. We put a lot of time into working out a permanent format for the channel and the show going forward. Something we think will make the viewers happy and make our channel one of the best sources for VR content on YouTube going forward. So I want to just talk about the changes that are coming and assure people that this is it. This is our schedule going forward. We're not going to make any more changes for quite some time. So first of all, let's talk about this show, the weekly news Virtual Strangers show. I'm sure you've already noticed the first change that we're making. It's Sunday, right? It's not Monday. You guys are seeing this a day early. And we're not just doing that so that we don't conflict with E3. This is a permanent change. And the reason why we're going to Sunday is because we have something really cool set up for Monday. There's going to be another show coming on Monday, and I'll get to that in just a moment. As far as the structure of this show, a lot of people have said that they like the new structure, the shorter shows, but there have been a few that have lamented the fact that we have cut off the end of the what was once at the end of the show, where we each pick a couple of games and talk about them.
That was me.
No. Yeah, well, not just you. There's more people.
Some people have mentioned it.
Yeah. There's more people that miss that stuff. So we've been debating a way that we can bring that segment back, but still keep our in-depth reviews through the week, and still keep our shows at a manageable length. So I'm happy to announce that segment, as of today, is returning to this show and all shows going forward, with some changes. Okay, so instead of 2 games each, we're each going to pick 1 game, and we're going to talk a little bit about it and give our impressions of the game. But if you want, if you'd rather have the full long-form discussion reviews like we've been doing the last couple of weeks, we're going to have those as well. So the discussion will start on this show, and then you can watch later in the week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as each one of our games gets a full video devoted to it. And I think that that's going to give us the best of both worlds. We're going to have that awesome personalized segment back on this show, and then we're still going to get to keep our in-depth review videos as well. And as Ruuts is saying, he's been campaigning to bring the segment back. What do you think, buddy? You think this is going to work out for us?
I think so. I think it's going to be better in the long run. And, you know, we've put a lot of thought into to everything. We've gone back and forth, and bottom line is we want to do the best show for you, and we're going to do it. So this forward, we'll bring it back, and I'm glad. I'm happy. I enjoyed it. I missed it because there was games that I would go into because you guys, for that reason, because you picked it, and I oh my God, this game is amazing. And so I felt kind of what the listeners feel, but inside, if that makes sense. I don't know, but.
Yeah, I get you. I'm the same way. I like watching our show back too. I find it entertaining, even though I just made it. It seems like I go into a zone. I go into a zone when I'm recording it, and when I watch it back, half the time I don't remember half the stuff that I said. All right, so that brings us to what is, in my opinion, the best part of this whole deal. Not only are we getting back the old segment, not only are we keeping our awesome reviews throughout the week, but we're also going to be bringing you content on Monday as well. And I'm going to toss it to Alex and let him tell you about the Monday show.
Yeah, Monday is going to be, I think there's going to be quickly become my favorite as well. This is going to be a topical game discussion where we're going to pick 2 games each, and there's going to be a theme around it. So basically we're going to decide a theme each week, and we're going to then pick 2 games, and we're going to, just like the old show, we're going to take it in turns to talk about the game and why we've picked that game. The first topic which we've chosen is going to be 6 VR games we think you may have missed. These are going to be either older games or maybe even newer games that we feel that may have gone under the radar a little bit, and then we're going to go through them, and we're going to talk about them in the old style where we used to do at the end of the show. The reviews, what we're going to do is, obviously we're going to do like Wes mentioned, we've got a game each that we're going to review, which we've picked. So at the end we'll give a little summary in this show, and then we're going to do a more in-depth review. So if you want to listen to more in-depth review later on in the week, you can listen to that, and it'll be like 20-25 minutes of us going really deep into the game. But if you just want more of a summary like the older style, we're going to do that as well at the end of each video, the weekly news video. So you're going to get a lot of content that's going on there, and hopefully you'll like it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. If everything goes off the way we have it planned, I think it's quickly going to be a big improvement to the quality of content on this channel going forward, and hopefully all of the viewers will think so as well. I do want to thank you guys for sticking with us through all of this turmoil and upheaval over the last few weeks. I think we've got most of it lined out now, and basically everything now is just going to be time management with us being able to create and edit and manage all of this content. But I think we're up to the task, and as usual, as has been the case from day one, we're going to get better at it over time, and the quality level is going to continue to increase. So to recap, Sundays from today going forward, our weekly show, the same one we've had from day one, with mainly news and current events discussion, games only, no hardware talk, unless it pertains to a game specifically. And at the end, we're bringing back the old segment with one game each. We're going to choose, and for each one of those games, the discussion will start on this show and be picked up in a separate video later in the week. And then Monday, in the time slot that is being vacated by this show, we're going to have a topical discussion each week with a different topic where we each pick a couple of games and have a discussion very reminiscent of our old games review discussions from our early episodes. So a little something for everybody on this channel. Pick and choose what you like. Don't watch what you don't like. But be sure you subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Give us all the clicks, and we'll keep cranking out the videos.
Definitely join the Discord too, because there's actually been maybe a dozen or 20 people that have joined, and it's actually becoming quite a good little community we got going, and I'm enjoying the discussions in there. So
yeah, I think there's only about 10, maybe even 10 people, but it's 10 people that are really involved, and we're all talking to each other. So there's a lot of chat going on in there. So I definitely recommend coming over. We've got a few little sections that you can talk in, and yeah, I'm actually been surprised how much chat we've had, and we've been talking about games and hardware, and yeah, so it's awesome. Join the Discord and join in. We're always in there, so you can chat with us directly. So
yeah, 100%. And the more you guys interact with us on there, the more ability you have to shape our content, because like Alex said last week, we really want to incorporate our community into our content. So the more you guys interact with us, the more influence that you will have on us as we plan out the content for the week. So,
and I have had a message as well about like guests on the show, and that's something we'll definitely look at in the future. But right now, we just want to get the format sorted and nailed down, and then, but in a few weeks, definitely we'll have people on. So.
Yeah, 100%.
And sorry, one more thing. All these things keep popping to our heads, but and at some point we do want, or at least we've talked about doing like a premiere and some weeks down for like Sunday's episode, but and we'll let you know when that comes up. We're a ways away from that, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you mean YouTube premiere? Oh, yeah. Definitely. When we start getting our timing down on this and get used to running under the new schedule, we're definitely going to start taking advantage of the YouTube Premiere service so that we can chat with you guys as the content is released on YouTube. So that's definitely something that's in the works. All right, one more item of personal business before we get back into the news, and that would be our Freediver Triton Down giveaway that we announced last week. We did have some pretty good turnout, some people interested in this game. So I want to go ahead and announce who won those copies of that game. And I also want to go ahead and once again thank the awesome people at Archiact for being so cool as to sponsor this giveaway, and also for giving us access to their game to review. So thank you, Archiact. And without further ado, let's see who won these keys. All right, give me just a second here, and I'll bring that up. Okay, winner number 1, Mike Quigley. Congratulations, Mike Quigley. Looks like that is also your YouTube fan, Mike Quigley. Check your email, buddy. It should already be in there. If you haven't noticed it yet, just go back to yesterday's emails, and the key should be in there waiting for you. All right, winner number 2 is Aldris Pantaleon. And excuse me if I mispronounce your name, but that looks correct to me. Aldris Pantaleon. Check your email, buddy. You have also won a copy of the awesome title from Archiact, Freediver Triton Down. So yeah, congratulations, guys. It's an awesome game. And for those of you out there that don't have it yet, $9, guys. It's awesome.
Just buy it.
Yeah, go buy that game. If you were waiting on the drawing today and you didn't win, you're not a loser, man. Just go spend your $9 and you'll be a winner.
You are a loser.
You know who else is a loser? My mom. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, go buy that game. It really is awesome. We're not just saying that because Archeac's so awesome. It really is a fun game with a unique mechanic in it that I haven't seen in any other game, and very high production value. Well done game. All right, back to some news. Congratulations, winners, and back to the news. So, Oculus Quest games. We had 50 launch titles that were announced for this thing when it was released just some 2 weeks ago, and now we're starting to see a second wave of games be announced. So just this week we have had, let's see, The Wizards, Electronauts released, and Swords of Gargantua, surprisingly, was announced. I wasn't expecting this one to come to Quest. This is I think, is it a 2-on-2 co-op versus sword fighting game that was just in beta. There was like an open beta a week or two ago of this. I downloaded it, never checked it out, but I did watch some great gameplay footage, once again, courtesy of Gamertag VR. What's up, Chris? Thanks a lot, buddy. And it looks pretty cool. It looks like it's all arena-based. Ruuts, I know you downloaded this one as well. Did you get a chance to play it?
No, and I'm kicking myself too because I downloaded it and then I forgot, and then I just noticed it the other day and I was like, oh, I'm sure it's over by now. And what drives me crazy is I'm one of those people that I want to see it in the game, you know? So it looks pretty cool. I wish I'd gotten in there.
Definitely looks like something that I would be, you know, amazed if it looks like that on the Quest. But then again, I was amazed when I got into the Vader Immortal. So with it all taking place in the same room, I guess it's very possible. Alex, what do you think about this game?
I don't really know. I've not really looked at it, but I did notice the beta, but for some reason I wasn't really that bothered about it. But I'd be interested to see if you guys try it, whether you think it's any good or not.
Yeah, well, I didn't know anything about it either until I noticed on the Oculus Store last week that they had that free open beta, and I downloaded it like I do so many other things and just put it in the old library and never came back to it. So yeah, that's coming to Quest, and I think we just found out today that Onward is coming to Quest as well, and that's not only that's not the only thing that was announced when it comes to Onward. There was a big update announced for it that was bringing in virtual gun stocks for inside-out tracking, performance improvements, graphics improvements, and I think Alex tried this one out. How did it go, Alex?
Well, I jumped in it last night just to try it out because I wanted to see what the updates were, and 2 hours later I was still playing it. So I forgot how much I love this game. But this game I only play co-op. I don't like the PvP. The people in there, I know I'll probably get some hate for this, but every time I've been in the PvP, I've just had really toxic people saying nasty shit basically, and I just haven't got time for that crap. So. But the co-op's brilliant. Everyone who's been in with the co-op's always been sound, and if you get in a good team and they work together in this game, it's some of the best shooting game. It's really tactical because obviously it's more realistic bullet damage. So you shoot them like one shot and they die, but if they shoot you one shot, you can die as well. So you've really got to take your time and you work together as a team. If someone gets shot down, you can get a syringe and get them back up. Just with reference to the improvements, the lighting's definitely improved. The game looks definitely a lot better lighting wise. The animations have improved. They're still a little bit janky, but they were pretty bad before. I mean, you look like you just dropped a turd in your pants, to be honest with you. They were like waddling around like they've just shit themselves. So they don't look quite like they look like they've probably just maybe I'd a wet fart now instead. But yeah, it's still not 100% perfect, but it's a definite improvement. I will say that there's some issues with performance. I found that maybe I need to turn my settings down now, but I used to be able to run it high and it ran fine, but now you can tell it's a bit choppy. I also had problems with getting into a game sometimes. I'd sit in a loading screen for ages thinking that it's crashed. It finally boot me into the game and then go back to the main menu, and that happened to me about 3 different times. So there's some issues that need fixing. What's interesting actually is because when you go to join, you can do like a quick join, and you can see which each mode, because there's co-op, there's solo, not solo, there's like the PvP stuff, and 76% of people play co-op on this game. So that's, most people seem to play this game co-op, and they are actually bringing out some updates for co-op with better AI, because the AI is not the greatest, and some new co-op modes in the next patch. So I'm really looking forward to that, because that's something that I don't know. There's new maps, but I couldn't access the new maps. I even tried to create my own server, and they were all blanked out. So I don't know if that's something to do with the lighting or co-op AI they've not set or something yet. But yeah, I could only play the old maps, so I was a bit disappointed because there's about 2 new maps I wanted to try out. But yeah, 2 hours and I was loving it. So it's a great game. I've put about 18 hours into it. If you're interested in shooters, this is one of the ones to get, I think. Especially for me, the co-op. I also another thing to mention is Gunstock. They've put a virtual Gunstock in there, which is going to help people with these inside-out tracking, because obviously I don't know 100% how it is. I think it locks to your shoulder, so you can pull the stock this hand forward a little bit more, and it won't affect the gun, which means that you're not as close to the cameras. Contract has also had an update with that as well, so it's worth mentioning that Contract has recently had an update with that feature added. And I jumped into Contractors this week, and that's another one that's had loads of improvements, new maps. My main issue with that one, because I only play that PvP, is that everyone keeps picking the same fucking map. There's new maps I've never even played, but people pick the same, because every time you hear map round finishes, you get the choice to pick the map, and everyone just votes for the same 2 maps. And that's the main downside with that. I want to play the new ones. So Contractors is my favorite PvP, and then you've got Onward, which is awesome co-op, and then Pavlov is in between for me. But yeah, they're all good games. And if you're into multiplayer shooters or any sort of shooter, then those are the 3 games: Pavlov, Onward, and Contractors are worth your time. I'd get those 3.
Is it Onward on sale too?
It's on 50% off, but it's a free weekend actually. But by the time this goes up, there's only going to be like half a day left. It's on the Oculus. You can try it for free right now, but it's going to end Sunday. So if you listen to this Sunday morning, you could probably still download it and try it out. But it is 50% off right now, so it's good price. In fact, Contractors has been put on an Oculus store as well, and it's like £12.99, which is really, really good value for money. And it's still, when I jumped in, there were still people playing, so you don't have to struggle for games. And yeah, Pavlov again, cheap. It's like £7 or something, even without a sale. So you can get like 3 really good shooters for a good price right now. So we're spoiled for shooters, for like multiplayer shooters, I think.
Yeah, these games go on sale a lot, and with it being E3 week, and June in particular is always a big month for sales, July as well. So I'd say that these games are going to be on sale for the majority of the time going forward here. And I think it's absolutely awesome that we've got Pavlov and now Onward that's coming to the Quest. A bit surprising that it's coming to the Quest, honestly, but it's a good thing, because this player versus player and team versus team competitive FPS is a gigantic genre with conventional gamers who play on flat screens. So if we can get some of these types of games, as well done as they are, into the Oculus Quest and get these quests on some people's faces, it could help spur things along as far as mainstream adoption of VR. So also, I forgot to mention before, Population 1, which is an upcoming battle royale type game that we've been waiting on for a long time for Oculus Rift. This got announced for Oculus Quest as well. So with battle royale being as popular as it is, this could be another huge one for VR in general when this one gets released. Ruuts, are you looking forward to Population 1?
Yeah, I'd like to try it. I know Steve from Roundtable has played it, I believe, and is big on it. A couple people that I know, Phil Yarn has said I think is in the beta and he's liked it. So it looks good. My problem is there's, like you said, there's so many good games out there that are shooters that are already established, already have the player base. Even War Dust, I really enjoy playing for the 64 versus 64 or 32 versus 32. A lot of craziness. I think that's what it's called, right? War Dust. But yeah, so I think it's different. It's different enough than all the other ones to be successful. And like I said, at least two people's opinions that I respect say it's good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a 24-person free-for-all and has a very interesting climbing mechanic. You can pretty much climb over anything in this game, and it's getting a lot of praise for that mechanic particularly. Are you going to play it when it comes out, Alex?
Oh yeah, I'm really looking for. I mean, I'm not a big multiplayer person. I prefer single player content myself that I can take my time and really soak in and enjoy. So I don't play much of it, but I've got the big three, which I class as the big three, like Onward, Pavlov, and Contractors, and this will be the fourth one I'll definitely get on my library. I'm not really playing much of this Battle Royale stuff, so I'm really interested in this. This has had like a lot of money pumped into it. I think they had like 5 million investment, so I'm expecting big things. It's been in development for a while. It's going to be cross-play with Quest as well as, I think, PSVR. Is it coming to PSVR, this? Sure, it's coming to PSVR.
I don't know. I'm not.
I'll have to double check on it, but it's definitely going to be Quest cross-play as well.
That's a question. We didn't say, is Onward, is that cross-platform? I know Pavlov is not.
We don't know yet. We've only really found out it's just coming. We don't know when or anything, but yeah, this one looks really cool with the climb and the flying. So I'm really looking forward to this, and we still haven't had an announcement when it's coming. So I've got a feeling maybe we'll find out at the E3. But yeah, I want to play this. This looks cool.
Yeah, I agree. I've never really gotten into the Battle Royale style games either, just because this whole thing basically came into prominence after I was already in VR. So, I really just haven't had much of an interest in it, but this looks cool, and definitely looking forward to giving it a try.
Have you guys tried Standout at all?
No.
You guys should check it out. I've got it for Steam, but it's actually it's pretty good, and they've done a lot of updates in the last 3 or 4 months to make it look amazing as well. So
cool. No shortage of FPS goodness in VR.
That's right.
All right, you guys have anything else on any of the Quest release or any of these first-person shooter games that we've been talking about?
Nope.
All right, a couple of more tidbits of news. As I mentioned before, it's the Days of Play Sony this week. So we're starting to get some news trickle through, and we got release dates for a couple of long-awaited PC ports that are coming in to PlayStation VR. First of all, we had Sirento VR, which we have been waiting for forever. They announced this one way back before I even had PC VR. They announced that this was coming to PlayStation VR, and we have just been waiting forever for it. So the Sirento VR is coming on July 30th. It's supposed to have some new maps, and a physical version will be made available from Perp Games. I'm pretty sure that you can pre-order that. And I saw some pictures of the limited edition steelbook that you can get from Perp Games, and it's really cool looking. I'm not a collector. I don't get into that sort of thing, but if you are, the steelbook for Sirento is really cool looking. You should get online and check it out. Perp Games Store. It's awesome. You should get on there and check it out. The other game we had announced is Scraper First Strike. We were supposed to get this one quite a while back. I think this was supposed to launch concurrently with the PC launch, if not that long thereafter, but it has been delayed and delayed again. And finally, They gave us a release date for it. Scraper First Strike is coming on July 2nd. They said that they're bringing future updates that are going to give the game additional content, and they're also going to be supporting 3D rudder and the PlayStation aim controller, which I find very interesting. I'm always looking for new games to use to play with my aim in, but this seems like an odd one. You're kind of steering a pod around in this game. You're not really walking around with a gun in your hand. So, Ruuts, were you surprised to hear that this was going to get aim support?
Yeah, my first thought was it's very bizarre because you use your arms to shoot. So I don't understand how that's going to work. I mean, obviously there's workarounds for other things, but my first instinct, because I love this game, I would recommend anybody that hasn't played it to try it. It's just amazing. I don't think I would. It makes me cringe to say this, but I don't think I would like using the PSVR aim with this. It just seems really weird to me. Like even with the touch controllers, being able to have your arms track the way move with you, it's really cool mechanic. It seems really odd. Not every game should have aim controller, but I don't know, my opinion anyway.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you here. This just seems like this seems like a game that would work very well with the Move controllers, which people, have a lot of complaints about the Move controllers, but every now and then you'll get a game that they work well in. And the way this game is set up, I think Move controllers are going to work really well in it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I wholeheartedly concur with what you said. This is an awesome game, AAA quality, and I'm looking forward to see how well they've done with the PlayStation port.
Well, this is the actual video right here. Of course, we can't see what it's like on the inside difference, but it doesn't look like it's that degraded.
No. So definitely looking forward to checking this one out. A very good game. I highly recommend it to anyone who has access to PC VR, and I guess now for PlayStation VR as well. So.
I just want to say I have not played this game, so maybe I should check it out. So
yeah. Absolutely, you should. Yeah. It's very, very high quality game.
Okay, that's something I'll add it to my list.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, one more piece of news. A game we talked about last week, Zed, released this week from published by Cyan, the same people who brought us Myst and Abduction. Eager Games, they're the developer, but this was published by Cyan. Very good looking game from the trailer, but we were wondering how it was going to play, and I know that both of you guys tried it out this week. I'll start with Alex. Alex, what did you think about Zed?
Well, I'll just say first of all, I tried it for 5 minutes, and then it's teleport only, and I'm not completely adverse to teleport only, but this is basically a walking simulator with some very light puzzles, and I don't want to go through this environment teleport. I want to be able to walk through and look around. This game is all about the environment and the story. The graphics were stunning, really, really nice. It looked really nice, like some of the best graphics I've seen in VR. But I just don't want to play it teleport, so I backed out of it. I didn't want to play any more of it. There was a lot of bugs in the game that I've read up on as well on the Steam discussion forums, and to be fair, the developers have fixed a lot of them. They have said that they're going to add smooth locomotion, but one concerning thing that I did read, because someone else yet again asked, because there's been like 5 people asked for free locomotion, and developers said that they are adding it within the coming weeks. Didn't even say this week, which worries me a bit. Like, is it going to take them weeks to put smooth locomotion in there? So this could potentially be my first refund. I may refund this and wait for them to add that, because that's a little bit worrying when they say weeks, because it shouldn't take weeks for them. That should be a priority for them, because they're losing sales all the time without smooth locomotion in there. But other than that, the game looks beautiful. It's only about 2 hours long, apparently. Don't expect a Myst type game. This is basically a walking simulator with a story and some very, very light puzzle elements. So if that's your sort of game, then give it a go. The teleportation, from what I've read, is fixed now. It works pretty well. So if you don't mind teleportation, you might want to check it out now. But otherwise, just wait, and we'll update you when it's got the smooth locomotion added to it.
Yeah, and I would like to point out for those of you out there who are subscribed to Viveport Infinity that this is a Viveport Infinity title. So if you want to check it out, just go on there and download it and give it a try. And if it needs work, then just play something else and come back to it later. Ruuts, what did you think about Zed?
It's the exact same thing Alex just said. It's beautiful, but I didn't want to teleport. And it's weird because like I exactly what you said, Alex. It weeks. Like it should have been day one, and as much of a big fuss as people are making, that should be priority one. I won't go back into it until it's fixed. I just I felt like, and this is how I feel when I go back. I go into a game like that. I feel like I'm going back in time 3 years, and I don't understand what the fuck is happening. Like I should be able to walk forward, and it just bothers me. It seems so petty, but it's such a big deal that any developer that doesn't put it in there from the beginning, unless it's a specific like Blood and Truth or something, a very specific mechanic, it baffles me.
Yeah, it's worth saying that this is a flat game with a VR mode. So I don't know if the developers are much into VR themselves, because obviously if they played it themselves, they would know what needs putting in there. There's no real hand interaction. You basically have these fucking weird looking hands. They're like clouds, like like Mickey Mouse hands. I don't know if you saw them, Ruuts. They're the comically bad. Like they've just, we need to put hands in this game for VR, and they've just quickly it's like they've got what's that thing, Oculus Medium or something, and they've just gone there we go, that's their hands. That's a 3D model for hands, but they're really poor. But from what I've read, that you don't really use them anyway, so it's a mute point. But with the fact that they put them in there in such a poor way, it just makes me feel like they've just kind of tacked the VR on, and that wasn't the main focus.
That's weird, because it's such a big hype around it. Maybe the little girl from Wolves in the Wall drew the hands or something.
She did a better job.
Oh, that's right. They were actually pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know what they say about these old school style games in VR. If you can't figure it out, trigger it out. So.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on Zed, you guys?
No. We'll keep people updated, but I won't be playing it until it's got smooth. I want it smooth, baby.
Yeah, I know. I might check it out. Teleport doesn't bother me that bad if it's done well. So I might check it out, being that I have Viveport. It won't cost me anything.
If you're walking, like, these environments are beautiful. The whole point of this for me is you walking through the environments and experience the environments. I can handle teleport with like a puzzle game where you just go into an area and you stood and you're sorting things out. But when you're not interacting with anything, when you're just literally walking through an environment, I don't want to like teleport somewhere and then oh yeah, this is nice. Teleport somewhere else. Yeah, this is nice. It's like I want to be able to move forward, and as I'm moving forward, look around and like experience it as I would in real life. And that's I don't want to do this game in teleport. It's just I don't.
Are you saying you don't teleport around in real life?
Yeah,
I find that hard to believe, because.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? That'd be cool.
Yeah. It does. It is that it's an immersion breaker, right? We don't think about that. If it's not something that I normally do in real life. So as I'm walking through this walking simulator and I'm teleporting instead, it completely ruins everything. I agree with you 100%.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's Zed, and that wraps the news of the week. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of it next week on Sunday, by the way, guys. Again, on Sunday, we'll be recapping all of the news and announcements from E3, and specifically the Upload E3 VR showcase. That's tomorrow at noon. All right, so from here, we're going to go back in time, back to the way we used to do things, and we're going to have our personal review segment. Applause, break for applause, everybody. It's back. Yeah. All right, so this is how it's going to work. It's going to work just like it did before. We're going to throw it around here. Only this time we're going to go in with the foreknowledge that the conversation is going to start here and continue on another day. And we're going to tell you which day to find the review for each one of these games on our channel. So again, tomorrow there will be no review. Tomorrow there's going to be an episode, the first episode of our topical discussion, which is going to be 6 hidden gems, 6 VR games you might not have heard of. And then the first review will come the following day on Tuesday, and that will be the game that Ruuts picked. Ruuts is picking Tuesday's game this week. Ruuts, what did you pick to talk about?
I picked Trover Saves the Universe. It just
Awesome.
came out, and this game it's was released on May 31st of this year, actually last week, I guess, on PSVR, and just came to PCVR, if I can speak, June 4th, so just a few days ago. And I'm pretty much was blown away. As you can see, it's in the background, me doing a little let's play of it, but I just like the way that they did everything with this. I mean, obviously it's a very comical game. It's a game made by the makers of Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland, and he's got a sense of humor that, if he's allowed to be taken off of his leash, will go crazy. It's like, I was reading somewhere, somebody was saying, if you don't like the episodes of Rick and Morty where they've got all the TV episodes, you won't like this, because the dialogue on this is so fucked up and the things going on that it just has you like thinking, what is going on, and laughing. I will warn you this, and I warned Wes this the same way. It's got a mature censor mode or something, but all it does is drop out the F-bombs, and that pretty much doesn't do anything, because the stuff that they're screaming at you, hey, you piece of shit, get the fuck back here, you know, or whatever. It's just really crazy. But I like also the way that your main character is stuck you're in your chair. You can see your hands. I did try the touch controllers so you could actually move them around, but after I did that for a while, and I think I was talking to Alex about, or not, was it you, Alex? I don't know, or Wes, somebody, one of you two. I decided to go with the controller, and it's a lot better. And but it's snap turn only, and pretty much one of my favorite platformer games in VR to date. So
Yeah, that's something that really surprised me about it. You know, I expected it to be good just because it's going to be funny. I knew it would be hilarious, and I expected it to be, you know, a very fun to experience game, but I also expected that the game part of it would be pretty mediocre, an average game. But to my surprise, when I got in this thing, the quality of game that this is way above my expectations. I didn't expect such a good platformer to be attached to all this filth and comedy. Alex, did you find this to be a very well done game, as I did?
Yeah, the game's definitely better than I expected. The game's. I thought it was just going to be like the Rick and Morty comedy wrapped around an average game, but the gameplay itself is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. The sword play's great. The platforming is great, and the characters and worlds are very creative and sprawling. Like you don't have to go. It's not exactly linear. You have one destination, but there's often more than one way to get there, and it's not just all horizontal design levels either. They build up kind of like Windlands. As a matter of fact, graphically, this game looks better than Windlands, a lot better in my opinion. And that was something else that surprised me quite a bit. If Windlands had the graphics that this had, it may be my game of the year. You guys have anything else you want to say about your first impressions of Trover Saves the Universe?
I'll save it for the review, but yeah, I've got more to say on it, definitely.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, good. So guys, if you want to hear our long form thoughts on this game, and it was a good game, tune in on Tuesday where our full review discussion will be released on our channel. All right. I think Wednesday is going to be my game, and it's another new one. Sorry, guys. It's another new game, but it's so good. I've got to tell the world about it, and that's Blood and Truth. Blood and Truth released on PlayStation VR this past week, and awesome. Just an awesome game. When PlayStation VR Worlds was launched all those years ago with the PlayStation VR, the standout demo on it was the London Heist. And everyone said, man, we need this to be a full VR game. And if this ever comes out as a full VR game, it's going to be one of the best games that we have on PlayStation VR. So London Studios, who made that, went to work on it. And basically that's what they've given us here, but it's not just a larger version of the London Heist, but it's improved in every way. The graphics are better, the sounds are better, the story is absolutely awesome with twists in it, and it's being told by world class actors that are well known from films and television. The one sticking point people had that was concerning them going into this game was the node-based teleportation, and I've got to say that it works great in this game. Not only is it sufficient, but I don't think that you could pull this game off without it. Many of the scenes, especially in the second half of this game, wouldn't be possible if the player had complete freedom over the character. You kind of have to get pulled through the game on a track. So the only ways to experience this game is either through node-based teleportation or on rails. So I'm glad it's not on rails. I'm glad we have some freedom. It's a super fun game, and due to the fact that you don't have to be thinking constantly about what to do with concerns with the movement, it makes it easy to play, easy for newcomers, and a ton of fun for VR veterans such as myself. Ruuts, I know you played this one as well. What did you think about it?
I was amazed. I thought it was one of the coolest games I've played in a long time. I know you were saying something about the node base, and we'll leave it for the next episode, that you think that there's a specific reason for it, and so I'll leave that little cliffhanger out there for people for Wednesday. But yeah, I was surprised by the story. I didn't get to try London Heist, and if I wasn't so tired when I tried PlayStation VR Worlds last night, I did the Shark Tank first, just our Shark experience, just because I really wanted to, and I wanted to try the London Heist. I'd be interested to try it and see the differences between what was then and what they've done with it now. And I'm really impressed with the gunplay in this game. I don't hear too much talk about it, but it's just so good. And I love how when you're moving, you're still able to be shooting and just everything. It really does make you feel like you're doing locomotion without locomotion, which is odd. But yeah, I like it.
Yeah, super easy to play. It feels like an arcade game, doesn't it? Like, yeah, it's that easy to play. And just epic scene after epic scene. And yeah, there is a very specific reason why this game only works with node-based teleportation, and we will delve into that a little more on Wednesday when the full review of this game is published on our channel. All right, so that leaves Thursday's game, which is Alex's pick. Alex, which game did you pick to tell us about this week?
I've gone for an older game. I've decided on I can't remember this. I think this was quite an early game. Robinson: The Journey, which is I'd describe it as an adventure light puzzle game. You play as a kid who's crash landed on an alien planet, and the alien planet looks like prehistoric Earth, basically. So you've got dinosaurs walking around, things flying around. Absolutely stunning on the PC. I've not played it on the PlayStation, so I can't confirm if it still looks as good. But yeah, a really nice looking game. It was originally a gamepad game which had the touch controls added, so that the hand presence doesn't really match 100%. There's some little bit of jank in there with how you interact with things sometimes, but overall, I absolutely love this. The sense of scale with the dinosaurs. There's no other VR game that will give you that sense of scale and make you feel like this is. I love dinosaurs. I've just got this thing about dinosaurs. So playing this game and looking at them and having the size of these long neck Brachiosaurus dinosaurs come right down in front of you, and it just gave me chills. It was seriously impressive. And this is one of those games once I get the index, I'll be going back through just to feast my eyes on the visuals because it's such a good looking game. So I believe both of you've both played this. Wes, what do you think?
Yeah, this is probably one of the first games that I played on PlayStation VR, actually. And what you're saying is true about standing in the presence of these dinosaurs. I think PSVR Frank put it best. It was his review that talked me into trying this game, and he put it best when he said, "Guys, it's fucking dinosaurs in VR." And I think that pretty much sums it up. It's fucking dinosaurs in VR.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Yeah. No, it's visually stunning. These things are massive, and what I really liked about this game was the exploration elements of it. You've got this computer AI thing that follows you around, and the scanner that looks a lot like a Move controller actually. And this world is just teeming with wildlife, not just dinosaurs, but all sorts of prehistoric wildlife that you can scan with your scanner and learn about. And that was probably my favorite thing about this game. Ruuts, what did you like about Robinsons?
I like just everything. Yeah, I can't speak today. Everything about this game. It just was just like you said, dinosaurs. I don't know. It's just one of the first games that I played that had a lot of climbing in it. I hadn't done too much more than that, and I like that aspect as well. And of course, the puzzles aren't too hard. I didn't know that it was not made especially for the Move controllers, and that does make a lot more sense, Alex, because it does have a little bit of jank that I did notice. But yeah, I liked it. So.
Yeah, it's definitely not perfect, especially being as old as it is. But we'll talk about that more during the long form
if you want to find out why it's not perfect, listen on
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Anybody have anything else you want to say about Robinsons before we wrap up?
No.
I think that's it.
Okay. So to recap, going forward, the namesake show, Virtual Strangers show, is going to be on Sunday from now on. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for our topical discussions, and every Monday going forward, topical discussions. This week, 6 hidden gems that you may not know about. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, reviews that are chosen specifically by each one of us. Tuesday, Trover Saves the Universe. Wednesday, Blood and Truth. Thursday, Robinsons. And was it Robinson's The Journey? That's the name of it. Robinson's The Journey.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the future, as we get this more down pat, we'll try to go to 7 days content, but that's kind of hard to do. Ask Anthony. Every day's tough. But we're gonna do some gameplays, and we've got some other unique ideas of things we may do in the future. But we're gonna stick to this format for a while and get really good at it before we make any more changes. So just a reminder, the Upload E3 VR showcase is tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Be sure to check that out. Be sure to go to the change.org link in the description and sign that petition and help these devs out that are put all this work into bringing to the Oculus Quest. Even if you don't have a Quest, obviously these guys are being treated unfairly. We need to help them out. Discord, don't forget to sign up for our Discord. The conversation is non-stop on there every day, so come join in and let's talk some VR. So if nobody has anything else,
just quickly mention the Discord again. Get yourself on there.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm Ginger Twat on the Discord. So.
He's not, but he should be.
I might change my name to that actually. Yeah. Come on, you can call me a Ginger Twat, and I'll respond. So that's fine.
Yeah, that's what Main Fan calls him. So
yeah,
Main Fan's on there.
That's why he's not on the show.
Yeah, yeah. If you guys are missing Justin, and you're not getting enough of him on the 365 Discord, come to the Virtual Strangers Discord. He's on there. He's a member.
Yep.
So I'm Wes for Alex and Ruuts. I want to thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and don't forget the notification bell. And we will see you tomorrow, friends.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
We'll see ya. Ciao.